Okay, mind you, I've taken college math classes, and the simplest math right now does not make sense. They're blocking literally all the neurotransmitters associated with simple simple equations. Um, Out of that 128 gigabyte, the one that I'm using right now, actually, SD card, I should have got 72 hours of record time. And they're manipulating the space, they're eating it up. First of all, it says I only had 117 of 128. But within these folders, when you look at the properties, this one says it has 37 gigs. That's not how much I have. That's not me. How many videos and photos I have there. 7 gigs or 8. We'll call it 8. $19. That's not a true number. $9. And $15. That's roughly 87 gigs. Now, if I had a true 128 gigs available, that would leave me with roughly 41, something like that, 40 something left. If I had 117, and 117 was the true amount of space available, I have 30 remaining. Now, for every gigabyte, that's roughly 15 minutes. That's roughly 15 minutes. So for 128 gigs, I should get roughly this amount, 1,920 minutes. And I'm going to go with the lesser number. I'm going to go with 30. We're going to say that the true amount of space available was 117, and I only have 30 gigs left. So that's 15 minutes per those 30 gigs. 15 times 30 is 450. That's 450 minutes of record time I should have left available. But like I said, all these numbers have been manipulated. The amount of space that is reading for each folder has been manipulated to read more than it actually holds. So somehow, some way, they're managing to hold, to block, to eat up that space. You hear the devil in the background? I told you they always coughing and choking. They always going like this. This is always the case with my SD cards. Now, as far as internal storage goes, they do an even worse number with that. A lot of time it's permissions that are associated with the apps that they use to block and lock it up. So on a 16 gigabyte cell phone, it'll say like the system settings. The system itself is eating up 8, 7 or 8, which means you have 8 or 9 remaining. When I remove all the photos from it, it ends up being 2 gigs. But those 2 gigs were reading as the entire 8 or 9 gigs I had. And there's an entire folder missing. I told you recently, I mentioned it. When the SD card came up missing, they stole one of 428 gigabytes. So during that video, I explained. In the video, I talked about how they're on this SD card, the one I'm referring to right now, they removed the entire folder. So there's one titled Humbug Neighborhood. And as you can see, there wasn't any reference of the folder or anything. And even considering that, it still doesn't count for all the space that's been eaten up. Anyhow, these two conflict. That's not the same number. That's 32 hours.